I hate these things when like you guys aren't talking back to me. I feel like I'm just talking to a wall, right? Um,
Don't
so
be.
that's what I don't like. It's because I feel like I'm not actually talking to anyone, even though I can see all your beautiful faces. So if you want to say hi to me in the chat, at least I feel like you're listening and you're excited or something. Okay, so I am here. Bridget's excited. Thanks, Bridget. I am here to talk to you guys about the 3x2500. It used to be the 3x4, and they changed it to the 3x2500 just a couple of months ago. Um, and so I want to talk to you guys about that. It is something that I have made my goal each month. And I feel like that has been such a big reason for my continuous growth and rank advancing in this company, is because I have focused on making that like my standard, right? So I want to start by talking about why the 3x2500. Like, why is it important? First of all, when you are constantly hitting those numbers, you are continually growing. We know that in this company, not everyone that you recruit is going to stay doing what they're doing, right? Actually, just a second. I want to ask everyone by a show of hands. I can see most of you on my screen. Who has achieved the 3x2500 before? Raise your hand. Okay, quite a few of you on the front screen. Or comment, who is completely intimidated by the 3x2500? Okay, I see a couple of hands on that too. Okay, I probably should explain what 3x2500 is to those of you who are brand new. So 3x2500 is 3 recruits and $2,500 in sales in the month. So in 1 month. And talking about why that's important. We know that not everyone who we onboard stays on board, right? So it is very, very important to continue to be adding to your team all of the time so that you don't fall from where you're at, right? It strengthens your team. There's strength in numbers, and the more of you that there are, the more you're going to see that snowball effect. If you consistently do the 3x2500, you are going to see that snowball effect. It keeps you constantly meeting new people and making those reach outs. And that's super important, obviously, in this business, because you have to be striving for that, for always expanding your market, right? You don't ever want to tap out your market. So you have to be always trying to grow. Most of Zaya's promos are based off of the 3x2500. So pretty much everything that you are running for with Zaya is going to be based off of this achievement. So that's something that you want to try and always get. Anna, I think we're matching, aren't we? Your combo caught my eye. And then also you want to lead by example. So it's super important to be trying to gun for these numbers, because as a leader, I'm not going to ask you guys to hit the 3x2500 in your business if I'm not willing to go out and try to do that myself, right? Sometimes I doubt myself as a leader because I'm not always one to like step up and have something to say, but I always show up in my business and I always do the work that I'm asking you guys and telling you guys to do as well. So that's the main reasons why it's important to hit that 3x2500. Okay, so now we're going to go into how I work on getting those 3 recruits every single month. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, a lot of the times I start my month out and I'm like, there's no way I'm going to get 3 recruits this month. Like, I just don't see it happening. And then all of a sudden I have 3 recruits and it's like, oh, and that's because I'm constantly planting those seeds and I'm constantly sharing this opportunity, whether that is by sending messages to people, by talking about it in parties, by posting about it on my stories. Like, I'm always talking about this opportunity and just genuinely excited about it. And that's the most important part. So the first thing I want to tell you to do is to offer the rep opportunity to every hostess. I think some people might say they might disagree with this advice, because I think some people only want to recruit total runners, right? You don't want to waste your time on someone who isn't actually ready to run. But at the same time, you never know who is going to jump into this business as a discount rep and then take off. I think Becky Anderson is someone who signed up as a discount rep and has just completely crushed it. So don't ever write anyone off as a rep. There's two different ways that you can do this. So I have started doing this just to people. I don't do it with every single hostess, because there are some people that I just don't feel like I want to approach the opportunity with. But some people, when I have a party booked for them, I send them a message before I book the party. And I say, hi, I'm looking forward to your virtual Zaya party, and I'm working on getting everything set up today. Before I get everything fully launched, I wanted to ask you if you'd ever considered making this your launch party instead of the hostess party. As a rep of this party, you would get the party rewards and also commissions. It makes no difference to me either way, but I figured I would offer the opportunity to you. Is this something you would be interested in? Okay, so before I even start their party, I'm offering that opportunity to them. I've had one rep sign up that way. Heck yeah, let's do this. Bridget, I probably should have done this with you. We started Bridget's hostess party, and we were a few days into it. Yes, Nikki, I can share that verbiage somewhere. We were a few days into it when Bridget was like, hold up, wait, I think I want to do this. And I was like, yeah, I probably should have told you about this opportunity before we started your party, right? So you have to kind of pick and choose who you want to say that to. You could say it to every hostess if you wanted to. But then the other one is, aw, Jamie, I see you kissing back there. This is something that I have made a non-negotiable for myself. Every single hostess I offer the opportunity to when I'm closing their party. And sometimes I even call myself out and I'm like, I promised, this isn't necessarily true because Erica didn't tell me this, but you can be like, I promised my upline that I would offer the hosting or the repping opportunity to every single hostess that I have. So we're working on closing your party. You have $65 in free credit. That can go towards your party, or that can go towards your rep kit. It would make it this amount. Have you considered repping? All of the items in the kit are super cute and something that you would totally love, right? So that's one way to kind of go about it if you're uncomfortable with offering the opportunity to them. But anyone who has $1,000 or more party, you have to be offering the opportunity to them and just telling them, you had a killer party, your friends love this stuff, you should be making the commissions off of this. You can do this too, right? I need a drink. So whether they have $20 credit or a $300 credit, offer the opportunity to them. Next, keep your funnel full. So if you have read Get Over Your Damn Self, which if you have not read Get Over Your Damn Self, freaking pick that book up and read it. We have been preaching about this book in 9 million different platforms for months now. And I know there's still a ton of you that haven't read it. So pick that book up and read it. But she talks about your funnel. So your funnel is all the people that you have coming into your funnel, right? For the opportunity. And you have to push people through your funnel, whether that makes them a no, not right now, or that makes them sign up as a rep. You work on always keeping your funnel full. I've had a couple of people be like, well, I have 6 or 7 people who are interested in the opportunity. Okay, don't stop there. You have 6 people who are maybes. They're not yeses, they're maybes. So find 6 more and start talking to them. Find 600 more and start talking to them. Don't stop talking to people because you have a couple of maybes, because those 6 maybes might not sign up for another year. And here you've wasted a year of your life waiting for them to sign up because you were hanging on to them signing up and they haven't yet, right? So Make a chicken list. This is a list of people that you are too chicken to reach out to. And every single month, scratch one name off of that chicken list. That's something I try to do every single month. I send at least one message to somebody who scares the crap out of me and who I'm super scared to even talk about the opportunity with. Jessie Krischer actually mentioned this in one of our messaging threads. She said that she's practicing her verbiage on people she knows will say no to the opportunity, right? So if you're scared about how you're wording things and you're scared about saying the wrong thing, first of all, you can't say the wrong thing to the right person. So don't forget that. But second of all, I loved her idea of doing that. So she was just reaching out to friends that she's like, okay, I know they have no interest in this opportunity, which we don't actually know that, but that's another story. And she's sending them messages and practicing on them and working on her verbiage. And she said she was actually really surprised at the feedback that she got from some of them, and that some of these people she knew had no interest in the opportunity were actually engaging in conversation with her and asking her questions. So I really liked that idea of kind of practicing on people that you don't actually think would sign up as a rep, right? Constantly be sharing this stuff in your stories and on your personal page. I know that sometimes it can feel like you're a broken record, right? It can feel like, well, I shared this in my story 2 weeks ago and I'm sure everyone saw it. And if I share about this now, like people are going to get annoyed of me. Like stop worrying about that, for one, because those who matter don't mind and those who mind don't matter. And two, like so many people don't see your posts one day and then they see them another day, right? Social media, the algorithms are funky depending on what time of the day you're posting. I know that I go through phases of like completely not paying attention to Instagram stories for like weeks at a time. And then all of a sudden one day, I'll go into that rabbit hole and watch like a million people's stories and waste 2 hours of my life, which by the way, don't do that if you can help it. Like that's not advice. But I know that I do that. So if they had been posting in their stories every single day for the last 2 weeks, I hadn't seen it because I hadn't been creeping through my Instagram like that, right? So don't feel like you're saying it too often or any of that. Think about your story with signing up as a Zaya rep and how many times you heard someone or saw someone talking about the opportunity before you actually jumped in. Very, very few of us saw one post and we're like, let's do this, I'm in, right? Most of us saw the opportunity over and over and over again before we were like, all right, I'm all in, let's go. So just share, and don't worry about oversharing. I think I have the wrong notes page. It's a problem, guys. Just a second. I gotta go grab my notes. I printed off my notes and then I thought that my printer was being funny, but they were really printing front and back and I had no idea. So then I was like printed all the other pages. Found it. Okay. So capitalize on the Discover Zaya call. You have to be using those calls. They are so powerful. Every single month, I swear they've gotten better and better and better. And we have had a really, really good turnaround with people who are watching them and who are signing up. So I want you to comment really quick if you signed up after watching a Discover Zaya call, because I think that it will be interesting to see how many of us that are on here signed up after one of those calls. And you can't just post and pray. Paige, Leslie, see, there's 2 right there. Wow, see, now they're flooding in, you guys. They're really powerful. Don't just post and pray, okay? So you can't just post once in your VIP page. There's a call about joining Zaya, like comment below if you want to join. No, it doesn't work like that. You have to personally invite people. You have to be sending out messages and telling them You can post in your stories. Just anyone, literally anyone. I know Heather talked about how she got some people on the Discover Zaya call because she won like having the most people on. And she talked about how she basically was sending messages and saying like, I'm in a competition to see who can get the most people on this call. Like, do you want to join? And some of her people joined just to be supportive of her and then ended up like asking more questions, right? So keep a list of people to follow up with. I am notorious for like having a conversation with someone about repping, and then I don't write their name down, and I'm like, oh, I won't forget about that person. And then life happens and I follow up with them like 3 weeks later, and I'm like, there was a Discover Zaya call last night and I probably should have told you to be on it, right? So get better about writing things down because I'm horrible at that. There's an app, Google Keep, that everyone has talked about, that's where I have started writing my stuff down, and it's super helpful. Google Keep if you don't have that yet. Okay, and then the other thing, so many people are like, well, I'm just scared to reach out about the opportunity. Like, I don't want to come across as salesy. I don't want to come across as pushy. I'm going to ask you something. Do you consider Zaya to be a gift? Has Zaya been a gift in your life? Because if the answer is yes, you have to be talking to people about it. And when you're talking to people about it, present it to people as a gift. Because this opportunity has the power to change someone's life. Who do you know that could use an extra $200 a month, an extra $500 a month, an extra $5,000, $15,000, right? Like, those are real numbers. And every single one of us knows someone, or lots of people probably, that would be blessed by this opportunity. And when you're feeling like you're too scared to reach out to someone, switch your perspective on it and talk to them about how this is a gift and you are truly giving them that opportunity. When you are recruiting, remember to make it about them. Recruiting is not about you. And if you are wanting to recruit only for yourself and only for your own benefit and moving forward in this company, your people aren't going to come to you because they're going to sense that. If you are recruiting because you genuinely believe in this opportunity and you know the stinking fly, I don't know if you guys can actually see that fly that keeps buzzing in my face, but it's really annoying. And then that completely made me lose my train of thought. Can somebody tell me what I was talking about? Yeah, really, I don't know what I was talking about.
About recruiting based on
what's in it for them. That's what I was talking about. What's in it for them? Always, always come back to what's in it for them. And when you're having conversations, if you don't know how to respond to someone, come up with a question to ask them. When somebody says, I don't think I have enough time, you say, how much time do you think this actually takes, right? When someone says, I don't think I'm good at sales, you say, do you think you have to be good at selling Zaya? Did I have to convince you to buy Zaya, or did Zaya sell itself to you, right? Also, utilize three-way calls. I am so up for having a three-way conversation, even if it's just a three-way Facebook message thread. I'm always interested in doing that. And I know, like, if you talk to your upline, you can move on up the line until somebody is comfortable with it. And if that means it's all the way up to me, like, that's fabulous. I will totally have three-way conversations. Utilize those. Don't be afraid to get on the phone with someone. It doesn't always have to be through a Facebook message, and definitely don't be afraid to voice memo. When people can hear your voice, they're going to connect with you on such a deeper level, and they're going to be able to hear your excitement. They're going to be able to hear how genuine you are. And if you stumble on your words or it doesn't come across perfectly, like, that's great. That's a good thing, because guess what? They're going to be like, this girl's human. I like her, right? So don't overthink it, and let them hear your voice. Okay, and the last thing for recruiting, if you're recruiting someone who doesn't have a similar story to you, ask in Zaya Fire, ask in your upline chat. I have something on my lip and it's really annoying me. Ask for somebody who has a similar story and tell their story. That's what we are here for, is to support one another and to share our stories and to do that, right? So don't be afraid to ask someone for their story and to ask if you can use it. All right, now we're gonna move on to that 2,500. Was that helpful with the 3 recruits? Do you guys feel like that was actually helpful, or am I just rambling? Okay, who's intimidated by $2,500 in sales? See a couple of hands. Okay. Easiest way to get to $2,500 in sales is to book at least, very minimum, 4 parties a month. I would say 4 to 6. 6 is probably going to be more safe at hitting that 2,500. But if you are booking parties, like, you have to be booking parties if you want to consistently be throwing up PV. Your VIP page is probably, most of us don't have the market to constantly be getting $2,500 in sales from our VIPers. So you have to be getting your parties booked. Fortune is in the follow-up. How do I book parties? I ask. Probably in this whole entire year since January, maybe 3 of my parties have come to me by someone saying, hey, I want to host a party. Maybe. That might be pushing it. I can recall 1 off the top of my head. Otherwise, I have asked. I don't know if you guys know this. I just started doing this actually. When somebody checks out with Zaya and when you get their confirmation email, it actually gives you their phone number. Most people type in their home phone. Like, I think you actually have to, but I don't know if it's always the right phone number. Some people probably just type numbers in. But I am going to start texting follow-ups to my customers rather than email or Facebook messages, because so many of my Facebook messages go unanswered and pretty much all of my emails go unanswered. And I actually got this idea from, I hosted a Pampered Chef party, and she texted my guests after they received their orders and followed up with them. And I was like, aha, I need to start doing that with Zaya. So I'm going to start personally messaging people and asking them how they like their stuff. I've had some pushback with that, with some of my reps saying that they're scared to follow up and ask someone how they like what they got, because they're afraid that they're going to get a negative response. But here's the deal. Any negative response that you get is going to allow you to turn that negative into a positive by having stellar customer service and making sure that they're happy, right? If that goes completely ignored and nobody ever follows up with them, and they just keep these leggings that don't actually work for their body type or not the right size or whatever, because they don't want to deal with the trouble of sending them back, like, you have an unhappy customer technically, right? So don't be scared to get a negative response. That's an opportunity to make sure that you make someone happy and they have something good to say about you and your business, and they in turn will recommend you for that reason. So don't be worried about the negative response. Once they do respond how they like them, if it is positive, you can say, I'm so glad you like it. Would you like to book a party and get more free and half off Zaya? I have these 3 dates open. Would any of those work for you? And Whitney Pavich, I don't know if she's on or not, but it's called option blocking. So you basically give them kind of like you would with a little kid, right? You're not gonna, do you want grapes or cake? No, do you want grapes or strawberries? Okay, you give them 2 options so they feel like they're getting a choice, but it's actually 2 healthy options. So that's what option blocking is when you're offering party dates or something like that, okay? So give them specific dates. Again, none of my parties come from people asking me and don't be afraid to run specials. So obviously you can't like give away everything, but I have had like on months where I'm struggling getting parties booked, I've sent out personal messages and said, hey, I was wondering if you wanted to host a Zaya party to get free and half off Zaya this month. I will be drawing, one of my September hostesses will be winning a $50 gift card, right? So then I get 8 hostesses, and all of those hostesses go into a drawing for more free Zaya. So don't be afraid to do that. Don't be afraid to offer bomber bras if, you say, or a copper charge tank or something. If you host a $600 party, I'll also give you a bomber bra, I'll give you a hat, like something like that. Don't be afraid to throw something down in order to start getting those parties booked. Because guess what? The more parties you have, the more parties you have, because people book parties off of parties, and it expands your market. So do what you have to do to get yourself going. Ask your dirt list. Ask your, if you're just getting started and trying to get parties booked, like ask your mom, ask your sister, ask your aunt, the kind of people that have a hard time saying no to you. Like, get them to host a party for you, because then you can get their friends to host parties outside of that. One of the things that I found super helpful, and I also learned this from that same Pampered Chef girl, is how she prepped me as a hostess, and she made me work. Like, I didn't just have this Pampered Chef party and she did all of the posts and I just went along and people automatically ordered. No, she gave me very specific posts to do. She gave me graphics to post. She gave me verbiage. She asked me to send 5 messages to people who I think would like hosting a party, and offered something to me if I got 5 people to host a party, those kinds of things. So you can also prep your hostess for this before you even book a party. You can tell them, hey, I'm really excited about this. Are you going to be willing to put some work in to get yourself some free and half off Zaya? You can have a $2,000 party if you're willing to do some work and do some posts yourself, right? And tell her, like, you can get $300 free in Zaya if we can get you to a $2,000 party, but it's going to take you helping me with this party. So you can be super upfront about that with them as well. Some of the ideas that I have for graphics and stuff that you can have them post are like the predictive text posts. The My Boobs Are one is the one that always makes me laugh so hard. I have my hostesses actually post that into their party and then engage in it. You can have them post this or that. Ask them to post their wish list. Ask them to post their thank yous, rather than I always posted thank yous myself. Well, when I had my Pampered Chef party, she asked me to thank the people who were ordering, and I really liked that. So now I asked my hostesses to personally thank the people who ordered in the actual group page. She gave me a daily task. So if you want to like sit down and think about a daily task you can give your hostess, one of the daily tasks was asking people to book parties, sending messages to book parties. She gave me a daily task to follow up and ask, if anyone the day before it closed saying that our party's closing tomorrow, did you still want to get your order in? The fun games, those kinds of things. So for each day, give your hostess a task. And then your VIP page is also obviously very important to getting to that $2,500. There's monthly giveaways that I run in my VIP page every single month. That can be something as simple as, I know one of my girls is doing a fall candle and a cute scarf. So it's not necessarily Zaya, which I actually really like that idea of tying different things into it. Pretty much everyone likes coffee except for Amanda and Sydney because they're weirdos, but most people like coffee. Most people like wine or something like that. So don't be afraid to take it outside of Zaya. You can also get a hold of other people from different direct sales companies and ask if they would be interested in donating something. And then you will obviously shout them out on your page and hopefully give them a lead for some business as well. So I highly suggest doing a giveaway of some sort in your VIP group each month. I am a firm believer in the more you give, the more you get. And I live by that saying. It's something I'm constantly telling myself. So don't be afraid to just give, give, give. You'll never regret giving, I don't think. You also, another idea I have is to give back a portion of your commissions to a company or organization that is near and dear to you. I know September is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, and my sister, this is last year, so it's been a whole year in the process of getting everything ordered and delivered, but I hope you guys can see these. Last year, Desire to Inspire raised money for Us Born Cuddle Bear books. My sister does this every year, and our little team raised $1,343. And I'm gonna, hopefully you guys can see this. Can you see? That's all books that she's donating to Mayo, like today. And then that is all teddy bears. And my little team did that last year, you guys, like almost $1,400. I have goosebumps. So like, I'm gonna cry because that's very, very special to me, but do more. Like, you guys, this is an opportunity. It's my favorite thing that Zaya has done in my life, has given me the opportunity to give back and to just do more. And so let that be your driver, and let that like inspire you to send that message, right, to somebody that you're scared of. Because in a year from now, you might have the opportunity to donate way more money than you ever dreamed of being able to donate to something. Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. But yeah, that's another good idea in your VIP page, Sydney, is to make it about doing more and spreading the love and whatever. Okay, I got to get off that because I'm going to just turn into an emotional mess. You can run specials for teachers right now to get some sales coming through. Your VIP page is more than just Zaya. Share recipes, share your kids, share a funny story, share your failures. Being vulnerable is something that is going to draw people into you. You don't want to come across as some perfect human, because people aren't drawn in by that, right? You want to be relatable. And if you're perfect, you're sure as hell not relatable, right? Show your cellulite, and then show how those leggings mask that cellulite. Show your flabby stomach, and then show how those leggings make that stomach look smooth. Like, get out of your comfort zone and get over yourself and share you and get uncomfortable. And don't be afraid to share your struggles. Like, really, really, really. Another thing, so I guess all that to say, your VIP page is more than just Zaya. It's your baby, and they're your people. Another idea that I have done when I've been short of my goal is to just scroll through my VIP members and send out personal messages to people and offer small discounts to specific people. So I just send them a message and say like, hey, I'm running for a big goal. It's the end of the month. I'm running for a big goal. I decided to spoil a couple of my VIP members to thank them for being a part of my VIP group. Here's $10 off of an order of $50 or more. Do you want a code? If you shop before the end of the month, like if you spend this before the end of the month, do you want a code? Right? So that's an idea in that. Ultimately, when it comes to that 2,500, parties are the lifeblood of this business. If you want to grow this business, you have to be hosting parties. If you want to see continuous growth in this business, you need to be gunning for that 3x2500, even though I know that it can be super intimidating. If it's really intimidating to you, start one by 1,000. Just start with that. And I guarantee you, if you're doing the things, Sydney, what's that face for? I guarantee you, if you're doing
like really jacked up, but maybe it's
to get one recruit and $1,000, you're going to slowly see that snowball. And who knows, maybe what you're doing to get that one recruit, all of a sudden you have 3, right? So do that. And okay, I went and looked back actually to see if I have been hitting the 3x2500 since I've started this business. And oh, sorry. The 3x2500 in my business, and I did the math, and my recruits for the months that I have been in this equaled out to be like 3.25 or something. And I've seen consistent growth in my business. So I'm just telling you that I am proof that 3x2500 works. You will see continuous growth in your business if you can make that happen. The last thing that I want to touch on is not getting discouraged. If you feel like you've been doing all of the things and those recruits aren't coming in. First of all, I want you to really do a self-check. Are you actually doing all of the things? Really, really? If the answer is no, check yourself, figure out what you can be doing more of. If the answer is yes, I want you to picture yourself pushing this big snowball all the way up a hill, right? And baby, you're pushing it, and you're going and you're going and going. And guess what? One of these days, you're going to reach that summit, and all of a sudden you're going to push that baby down the other side of the hill. And then you get to run down that hill with that snowball. And I promise you, if you are doing all of the work and you feel like it's not paying off, one of these days, you're going to hit that summit and you're going to roll over the edge. I wanted to show you guys this graphic because it also is a great reminder to what you're doing. Look at this guy. Who knows if you're right there? You don't know that. You don't know where you're at with hitting that goal. So keep going. Don't let yourself get discouraged. I know Amanda Olson is a really good example of this because she didn't have a single recruit, I believe, until 9 months into this business. And she was sharing her little butt off. She was talking about the opportunity. She was excited about the opportunity. She was truly doing all of the things. And all of a sudden one day, just boom, it clicked. And she just took off up that hill, actually down the hill, right? She pushed the snowball down the hill. She had been working on going up the hill. But keep going. I was watching a live the other day in Zaya Marketing, and Paula Chavez, if you don't know that name, she's one of the gals who runs the marketing page. She said, the day you plant the seed is not the day you will eat the fruit. So remember that you are planting seeds. You are pushing that snowball up the hill. Soon enough, those seeds will blossom. Soon enough, you'll push that snowball over the other end, and it's all going to pay off. Another quote that I think is important is, if you can't handle the no's, you won't get the yeses. You've got to go for no. If you guys knew how many times I've heard no since the day I started this business, you would probably be like, girlfriend, why are you still doing this? You've been told that many times, no, that many times, and you're still here. Like, I hear no all the time, but I have learned to not take it to heart. I have learned that, I move on to the next no until I eventually get a yes. So another thing when it comes to this, and when it comes to having those conversations with recruits and stuff, you can always do a self-check and ask yourself, like, okay, why did I say yes to this opportunity? Like, what did my upline say to me? Or what clicked in my head? What was my tipping point? And use that as a way to open up a conversation with a recruit. So for me, it was when I finally realized that there was no risk in me trying this. That was my tipping point, was, what do I have to lose if I try this, right? So think about that when you're having a recruiting conversation with someone and you don't know what to say. Think about your story and what your tipping point was. All right, so that's pretty much all I have for you guys. Does anyone have any questions about anything? You can unmute yourself, or you can ask in the chat. Sorry, I thought I wasn't going to be able to talk for long enough, and it's 11:41. My bad. I don't know. I don't think anyone has any questions. I hope that you guys enjoyed that and it wasn't just all repeated things that you've heard before, but well, thank you all for joining. And let me know if anyone has questions.
Great job. I
See you
loved
guys.
it.
Bye,
Thank
Kat.
you.